Little card pull.
The energy is better this week.
Oh my god, I was thinking in the car to myself before I got here, if you don't like to hear me talk on the pod as much as you like to hear Alycia talk on the pod, just skip this episode, because I'm feeling chatty.
Everyone watch the outfit. Okay, so right away we pulled 3 of Wands in reverse, meaning that there is some frustration happening, but there's also a new beginning and a revelation, like an opportunity where you're going to have like, ooh, I know what to do. So if you come across a moment this week, and the Empress and the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck.
I love those cards.
That is abundance and building a dynasty and a legacy, which I feel we're doing, but you can be doing it at home too.
And for the viewers at home, you can be building your dynasty and legacy.
I just have a feeling this is going to be a really good chapter for anybody that's aligned with me, so.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm aligned with you. So.
You are. With us.
With us.
Whoops. So the cards were good. I feel like the energy last week was a little shysty.
Shyster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that episode does, because it was being really difficult for me to get uploaded. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is so weird. I never have this many issues. Yeah,
that's a stretch. We've had a lot of issues.
In the beginning, but then once I got it down, I was like, oh, this works. Yeah. And then for some reason, that one episode was like, nope, not for you.
It was the energy. I don't know, there was just a lot shifting last week.
What was shifting?
Well, we had the Gemini new moon that really, really bled quite a bit into people.
Yeah.
And we had Venus square Chiron, I'm pretty sure, or direct Chiron, something like that. I forget the exact placement, but that's pretty intense, pretty powerful, because Chiron's the wounded healer. So anytime there's a tough aspect, especially like Venus, a happy, loving planet, to come direct contact with like the wounded healer, it's trauma, baby.
Trauma, baby. So that would explain why I like lost my wallet, forgot my shoe, and
what?
Like that would explain
why did you I understood the thought, but why did you forget a shoe?
Do you ever like put your shoes in your bag and you're like, oh, I'm gonna bring them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes more sense now. I thought you were walking around with one shoe.
I was.
Yeah. Okay. You're unhinged today. I don't know what is in the air with you, but it is something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel unhinged. Mm-hmm. I feel unhinged today. I have felt unhinged all week.
That makes me excited to be sitting this close to you.
Watch out.
Great, I'm excited. Well, this is gonna be fun.
I feel the best when I feel unhinged.
I agree with that within myself as well. I feel like it's authentic and pure, and it's not so like something about the Toxic Behavior podcast is being like put together and organized, and so like in your little box of everything you need to be is so stressful.
So stressful.
I would rather be myself and have people judge me than worry about judgments of others and be somebody else.
100.
You know?
Yes.
So I agree. Unhinge it all.
Unhinge. I went through like this was like, I'm going through a good unhinged period right now, where I'm just like, let it fucking fly, baby, you know? Yeah. But I went through like a really, like, my nickname at home was Hurricane Carly. Like, I would walk in and they'd be like, shit is gonna fucking fly. Because I was super, super unhinged. It was like, just too much going on up here. Just a little too crazy.
Yeah.
But that was, and then, I was trying so hard to be like, I'm not like a type, it's not me. I'm not like type B. I'm not like, it was convincing myself so hard. I have my shit together. I think I was like lightly convincing other people of that too. But then would be like,
crazy.
Yeah.
The crazy eyes come out.
Crazy. Like I was, this was when I feel like my my type B-ness was so strong that it would just like come out in everything, in all circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember I went on a road trip with it was like a 4-hour drive, and I got to, probably we were like half hour away from our destination, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot my wallet. I'm on this like vacation and I'm like, oops, I don't have my wallet.
I hate you. If I was driving that car, I would be like, get the fuck out. Get out.
I was with my ex-boyfriend, and I think he was like, what is wrong with you? Like, literally, what is wrong with you?
It's not even the financial aspect of it. I'm going to be honest. I got you. I'll cover you.
And the same was, like, he never didn't pay for dinner.
Exactly. But it's the part of your brain that just doesn't, it just ticks.
It's just,
is what happens. It doesn't fully rotate the gears. The fact that it took you 3.5 hours to understand that you no longer had your wallet.
To even think about it. To even think, like, oh, just living my life. Like, I'm like, what was I thinking about? What could have been going on in my head?
I don't think there was anything.
No, I think that's my point. Too many things. I think there was too many things, like, rotating through. I couldn't even think, I couldn't even remember, like, very simple tasks.
As much as I just shit on you for that, I have had that experience multiple times, so I cannot judge. I am very similar, and I do things. I mean, I don't usually forget my wallet or my phone or my keys, but I will have so many things going on in my head that I will, like, for example, this is fairly common, I've learned. Like, I will be driving somewhere, and I will be going in the opposite direction. And all of a sudden, I'll be like, where the fuck am I going? And I'll have to do a loop. I'll be like, shit, I'm going the wrong way or whatever. That happens to me quite a lot. I've also, this is funny, because I'm just in my head all the time. Personal and TMI. I was going to pee one day, and I went into my bathroom, having all these thoughts in my head, pull my pants down, sit on the toilet, I'm peeing, and I'm like, I'm pissing through my underwear right now.
I hate when that happens.
Literal pee through my underwear. My jeans are around my ankles, and I'm like, so I get it. I would rather forget my wallet.
I mean, in that circumstance, yeah. I have so many type B.
Mm-hmm.
I am so type B. Like, some type A tendencies, but we can just throw those out the fucking window because I lean so hard type A. When I worked with a bunch of girls, I remember one day somebody came into the office and they were like, there's a shoe in the road. Carly? And I'm like, I look in my purse and I'm like, yeah, I only have one in here. That's definitely mine.
Yeah. No, I used to be very type A.
Oh.
I used to be very type A. Like, but I think that was honestly anxiety and fear. Like, I needed, I thought I needed consistency, timelines, be on time, have your shit together, have your outfit planned and hanging on your door, like, make sure all your bags are packed. Now, I'm like, what am I wearing? I have 7.5 minutes. And I'll throw something together, and it might look like shit, but I could also give a shit less. Like, I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. So once I think I stepped into who I really am. Yeah. And I felt confident in myself, then the type A tendencies
kind of went away.
Quickly. And I didn't even, to be fair, I didn't even notice when they were gone until recently when I was like, my mom made a comment to me and she was like, this is very unlike you. And I was like, whatever. I was like, whatever. And I also, not that it's directly connected, I used to be a huge reality TV girl. Like, I used to watch The Challenge and Real World and all of that stuff. Yeah. And probably like 7 or 8 years ago, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. It's garbage. No Love Island, no nothing. I don't watch a single reality TV show ever. And I swear to God, my anxiety level has went down dramatically from
Right.
when I was watching shit like that all the time. I swear to God. So I think
I
that
believe
also
that.
disconnected, because it's also expectation, like what the world thinks you should look like, be like, act like.
100%.
So I think that contributed to my surrendering and being a little more, or a lot more type B.
Yeah, I will say I've never been type A not in my whole life, but I am a very, very creative type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been good at having routines.
Yeah.
You'll never catch me doing the same thing every morning.
No.
I literally cannot have. I could try. I have tried, but I'm like, why try to have a routine, you know? Why even try? So I have found that I'm just like, let me just like lean into who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just lean
Yeah.
into my type B tendencies. Like, I'm not unhappy with not having a routine. I like to just like kind of see how my day unfolds.
Yeah. I will say it adds a bit of
Spontaneity.
yeah, not the word I was going for. I was going to say complexity to our friendship, because we do this thing once a week. We film a podcast. It's so wild, so unplanned, so spontaneous. And Carly will have no time in mind, at least not to me. She will.
It'll be in my mind.
She will cancel and reschedule for a day, TBD. She will show up. I'm on my way. I'm like, oh, sick, amazing. Or, oh, I wasn't going to come today. Meanwhile, my whole night's blocked off. I'm like, amazing. So you are very, very bad at being any type of A that there could be, except for asshole. It's so bad. And sometimes I'm like, I think people who don't understand you, and this ties into previous episodes, could be extremely frustrated with that, because there are moments when I think to myself, this fucking bitch. I could have been on live. I could have been, I don't know, watching a movie would be nice. I don't know. Who knows what the night would have done. Instead, I'm like, I will never forget the time I fucking showered, everything shower.
She asked me 3 times.
3 fucking
over,
times.
Right?
I'm like,
You're
are
coming
you
over,
sure?
right?
I
like,
understand.
Yes.
I'm like, you don't have to. I was so
there.
kind about it. I was like, please don't. She's like, I will. I want to. I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So my ass gets in the shower. I take an everything shower. I shave. I wash my hair. I do a leave-in. I blew it out. I full makeup. Full glam. Literally, the second I finished my lip liner, ding, I'm like, she's canceling. She's canceling. She calls me, you're gonna hate me. I'm like, I'm gonna take about 17 selfies and call you back, because I look so good. And now look at us. I'm here in leggings and a t-shirt, and here comes Miss Sloan rocking her leather fit and her fucking ripped jeans, because she knew hours in advance that we were gonna be here, but we just didn't have a conversation about it.
Are you done? But you know what? This is all true. This is all true. However, I will just say that I think that we are both terrible podcast partners. Okay,
We are.
I don't even know how this thing gets produced every week. Actually, I do know exactly how it gets produced every week. I do all of the work.
She does.
So if I think my one leeway is that I get to fucking show up when and where and why and how I want to fucking
It's a
show
valid
up.
point. It's a valid point.
There's
However,
a lot of balance.
There is,
There's a
because
lot of
I
balance.
bring the audience, and
You do.
you bring
everything
all
else.
the logistics, all of them. I didn't have
What?
a camera. I didn't have a light. I have the office space.
Alycia has the office space. I'm like, every week, I'm like, okay, camera, 3 battery packs, memory card, light, what we're talking about, what I'm wearing, what we're doing. And if I forget one thing, Alicia's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Carly. And I'm like,
It's true.
Alycia.
I don't know how long we're going to be able to do this without any external help, because I am not good at this. I literally, like, I'm not you at least have like a marketing background. You know how to fucking work a mouse on a computer.
I'm actually really, really tech savvy. I think that's something that people don't know about me is like,
you are amazing.
Tech savvy.
That's why. But I will also add, I have outlined episodes. Number 1.
You have.
Number 2.
That I re-outlined.
You do not take kindly to, not that you're a bitch, you're not, and I'm not saying this by any means. I'm really not. But if I have an idea, you take it and
I'll spin it.
You restructure the entire thing, and you'll get the idea, and which is amazing because it balances up.
It's my marketing brain. It's like, this is a great idea, and I always say, I love this idea, but let's position it in this way, so that it
you're
resonates.
great at it. You're great at it. So on my side of things, I have learned, and this is a poor quality of mine. Shit on me all you want. I'll be like, yep, let her do it. Yep, let her do it. Because I don't want to be like, here, I've outlined 17 episodes, and you're like, amazing. Crumple it up, put it in the recycle.
It's not.
I know you don't do that, but I'm just saying that's like in my mind. I'm like, Carly's better at this. She excels better at this, and she knows how to target. Like, demographic, audience, words to use, all this shit. I'm like, type B. I'm like, amazing.
That's like the only way I'm type A too, is like in my work, in the work that I do, super type A.
Yeah.
Everything else in my life, everything type A. But my work, I'm so type A. I'm like, this is what we need. I forget stuff sometimes. Like, I forgot the memory card today, but I was working with our footage, like, right before I got here. And I was like, oh, my God. I said to myself, I have to put this in my bag.
I don't think, but that's the good thing about, I think, you and I, because we do work really well together.
Well, that was actually what my next point was going to be. We would never be able to produce this podcast, even though... Like, I do the production itself, but we'd never be able to come together and actually do this podcast without both of us. I wouldn't do it alone. No. I wouldn't, and I couldn't.
Me either.
I'd get way too caught up in the logistics and the strategy, and, like, that does not make for a fun podcast or experience. And you bring the side of, like, you have already built an audience. People love to hear your perspective on things, your side on things. And you also bring, like, this whole other level of energy that I think we both need here.
We balance each other very well.
We do balance each other. And we manifested this podcast into existence.
Yeah, we did.
I feel like over the last, 3 years, we were manifesting and building this podcast into existence, which is crazy.
And we were at the bar for Carly's birthday, and we have so many qualities that are so opposite and so many qualities that are actually like on brand with each other. She's checking our streams at the bar. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, how many do we have? And you're like, can you believe it? And I was like,
crazy.
We were like gassed at the bar, and we're like clapping and laughing, and I'm not even kidding. I'm so fucking delusional when it comes to this shit. If I get a single view, if I get a minute of playtime, I'm like, yes. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I've manifested some weird shit. Weird, wild shit.
Dude, same.
But this is like, I've never been so excited, so... There's that. But manifesting shit, I'm great at being a delusional psychopath.
I think I might be the most delusional person I know. I have a good example of that, too.
Send it.
Send it?
Yes.
My favorite fucking example of how delusional, okay? I don't know what gives me the confidence.
Me either.
To start from zero and be like, no, this is going to happen. I was 20 years old. And I, at the time, was living in a house with my ex-boyfriend. He was 5 years older than me, so he bought his house when he was 25. And at the time that we were breaking up, or like around that time, we were having like a deep talk. And I was like, I'm going to, in the next 3 years, I'm going to buy a house. So at this time, I guess I was 21. So I was like, in the next 3 years, I'm going to buy a house. He's like, good for you. I think you should. And I'm like, I'm going to. Credit card companies were calling me to pay my bill that I hadn't paid in months. I had $0 in a savings account. Mm-hmm. I had a job that paid $30,000 a year. Mm-hmm. I was broke. So broke that I could not afford my car payment. I could not afford my rent. Like, I was scraping the bottom to try to make money. Like, I was broke. and I still was like, yeah, no, in 3 years, I'm going to buy myself a little home. And in 3 years, exactly 24, I ended up paying off all my debt, like fixing my credit, saving up enough money for a down payment, and buying my motherfucking house. Yeah. And I was like, that's so crazy, because anybody hearing me say that at 21 would be like, you're like
crazy.
Yeah. And they're probably not going to say it to my face, but they'll be like, I'm sure my ex thought the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to buy. You can do it, sweetie. Sweetie, you can do anything you put your mind to. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna.
Done. Signed.
Send.
No, I am a firm believer in the delusion that it takes to manifest a scenario, and there's science that backs these ideas, right?
Oh, yeah.
I first learned in a very different way. I manifest small things all the time. Teeny tiny things, because I'm very delusional about it. It's just a thought, and I'm like, whatever. So one day, I was in my house, and I thought this is so random. I was like, I want my rug to be cleaned for free.
Oh.
That was my thought. Literally, the next fucking day, I get a knock on my door. I'm like, hello? They're like, can we clean your rug? We need to do a demo.
Up.
Swear to God. They're like, we
That's
need
like
to do
magic.
Legit.
It's literally magic.
They were like, we need to do a demo. They came in my house. I was like, I have one spot on that rug. One of my kids got thinking putty, which I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it is not fun.
Yeah.
It is not for thinking, unless you hate your life. And
unless you want to think about how you're going to clean it out of your carpet.
Legit. My kid got red thinking putty and spread it into a beige carpet.
Oh.
And it hardened.
Oh.
And so I told these people, I said, there's that one spot over there I need cleaned. They did my entire rug. They told me they had to do a demo. And I said, okay, I'll listen to you while I'm in the bathroom. Just talk. Went in the bathroom, blew dry my hair, did my fucking makeup. Came out, my rug was clean. They're like, do you want to buy my product? I was like, nope, thanks so much. And they left.
Thanks so much.
So that was one of the times that I manifested something small, but I cannot neglect. I said to myself, probably 7 or 8 years ago at this point, that I wanted to create this business. Everything you see in this little square frame was a manifestation of mine that is now existing.
That's
the
sick.
Color of the walls, everything. So this pot, my following on TikTok, everything.
Yeah.
And I am now entertaining such larger ideas in my manifestations, and I'm so gassed about it, and there are so many little things that keep aligning, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm a delusional. And I talk as if I already have all of these things.
Right.
I was in the car with my stepfather, who thinks I'm crazy, genuinely.
There always will be people that do, though.
Always. And he was driving my car, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I looked over and I said, how's it feel being my chauffeur? And I literally, for the rest of this vacation, we would go to get in the car and I'd hand him my keys. And I was like, I'm famous and you're my driver.
Yeah.
So get in line. He was like, okay,
Alrighty
psycho.
then.
And so
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I act as if I already fucking have it in my hand. And I align with my manifestations. It's so important. But I'm a crazy fucking bitch. So.
I'm delusional as fuck. I think same thing. Like, the life that I have now, I have been, like, thinking about this, wanting this, like, feeling this since I was, like, 21. Mm-hmm. Like, everything that I have now. Like, I was telling my friend today, I was like, we were talking about work, just general, like, work. And she's like, how's work? And I'm like, it's sick. Works fucking
I love
great.
it.
I was like, don't really have a lot to do right now. I work about 17 hours a week. I work the hours that I want to work. I feel like stable financially. I'm like, work is great. But as soon as I like got into the corporate world, like as soon as I got like my first like big girl 9-to-5 job, I was like, all right, I know what I want. I want to work from home, and I want to work my own schedule. I want to do work that I want to do, which I think sounds crazy. I mean, crazy unless you own your own business, which I do, but crazy to think that you can kind of like make that for yourself and make it work. And I think a lot of people are like, that's just like, it's so lucky that you can have like a job like this. And I'm like, it is absolutely fucking lucky. And I've been like wanting and wishing for this for 10 years.
But I'll also add, there's a belief that people think if you manifested your life that you didn't work for it. I will tell you, I poured blood, sweat, and tears into what I fucking have. This is not luck, like I rolled a dice and was like, look at it rain. I have fucking clawed 100%. And fought for this shit. So if you're listening and you're thinking, I'm just gonna manifest,
just gonna do it.
I'm gonna be delusional and it's gonna work. It won't
no,
happen.
You have to you have to put in the work. Do you know how many nights I spent, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, do you know how many nights I've stayed up working until 1 o'clock in the morning? Trying to, like, and build my knowledge, build my brand, like, just, I think a lot of it now when I look back is like, wow, I know how to do so many things when it comes to branding, marketing, technical things. Like, I have such a really solid skill set. Yeah. And when you have such a good skill set and you're really confident in that, you're gonna get into the positions, the jobs, and like what you want. Yeah, that's and so true. It's like this shit didn't just fall into my fucking lap.
No, I get it.
Working for it.
Yeah, no, and there was a lot of nights in building my business and what I want, there was a lot of nights where I questioned what the fuck I was even doing. Like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, holy shit, is this worth it? Is this going to pay off? And now I'm like, it worked.
I'd call Alycia and I'd be like, give me a reading. This is before we were friends. And I was literally, I still have voice memos from her that I would listen to and just be like, okay, it's going to work. It's going to work. But that's the other thing is like, once you let go of the fear, once you let go of the control, that's when it starts to work. That's when you're like, okay, because like manifestation doesn't work if you're trying too hard. Yeah. You have to try, you have to work. Yeah. But you have to like let go too, which I think is a really hard thing to do.
So I recommend, if people are manifestors, I do recommend buying the book, The 12 Laws of the Universe, because a lot of people think that it is just manifestation, but there's
a lot that goes into
the law of assumption, the law of surrendering. There's like literally 12 universal laws that says if you do these things, you'll get exactly what you want. So I would kind of lean into that, and there's a lot of hustle and grind with that, but as long as you can do it, you can have anything you want. I feel like this life, I think we exist in human form to evolve and succeed and to feel abundance. So if you're not feeling those things, time to
figure out what the fuck you need to do to feel those things.
And it could be anything. No judgment. You could go for a walk. You could fucking smoke a cigarette. I don't care. I'm not promoting that, but it's whatever you want. I don't know why I said that. Hit your vape. No, I'm just kidding.
It must have been intuitive. Somebody listening to this is like, yes.
I was weirdly thinking about, I used to smoke a long time ago.
Me too.
We're so cute. Yes, I fucking, what a time. But today I was thinking, out of nowhere, I thought of myself in Paris smoking a cigarette, and I was like, that's a weird thought.
That is
and then
a weird
I just kept going. So I don't know why that's in my head.
I was thinking today, okay, tell me, delusional or just crazy?
Yeah.
I was thinking today, and I saw this the other day, and then, do you ever think like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then you forget?
Yes.
Okay, so this is exactly what happened. I saw this person being like, just say it to the universe, in the next 24 hours I'm going to get good news. And I was like, oh, I'm saying that. And then I forgot. So I didn't get it. So I don't know if I got the good news or not. But today I'm in the Starbucks drive-thru, right? And this thought pops into my head. I don't know why it popped into my head, but I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I'm saying to myself, in the next 24 hours, I'm going to get good news. I got into the Starbucks drive-thru line. I get my little coffee. I'm getting a coffee for a friend. And the girl in the window was like, hey, did you get a cheese Danish? And I was like, no. And she's like, do you want a cheese Danish? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna take that as my good news. And then I went for a walk with my friend, and as we were like parting ways, I'm getting in my car. She's like, oh, by the way, I have something for you. And I was like, oh, this is a surprise. It was just my birthday, but I was not expecting anything from anybody. And she gave me this like really, really beautiful necklace from Anthropology. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, and I'm sending something to your email. And she gave me this gift card for a this place that does like cold plunges and saunas and all that. And it's like the admission.
That's so sweet.
And I was like, wow, I'm taking that too as my like, good news. So it's interesting. I think there's a lot of times where we ask the universe, like, I want this, mm-hmm. right? And you get it. And then you're like, meh, that wasn't it. Like, yeah. You know, what's a cheese Danish? Like, what, you know, like, what? Why is that good news? But I take that, and I think this is why I am a strong manifester, is because any little thing, like, if somebody gave me a nice compliment,
yeah,
I'd be like, that's it. Taking that as my good news for the day.
Yep.
So I think that's an important thing to note too, is like, it doesn't have to be like you won $1 million.
No.
Like, just take the little just blessings mm-hmm. of the day and being like, wow, I'm so fucking grateful for that.
Grateful is actually expressing gratitude is the biggest magnet for manifestation. Yeah. And I say that all the fucking mm-hmm. time. Because literally I always say look at the universe as like one of your friends. If you never say thank you to that motherfucker, you're not getting like, shit anymore.
See ya fucking later.
Deuces. Good luck. Bye. Instead, if you were like fucking sick, thank you, then you two are going to be flowing and sinking and gifting and balance and receiving. So like I'm the parking lot manifester. So you guys, this is crazy. No, this is crazy. I do this all the fucking time and it works. I will be driving to my destination and I will say to myself, front row parking for free. Front row parking. I have never failed. When I embody that thought and I think about how grateful I am that I don't have to walk far, and I listen to good music, I will get the sickest fucking spot.
Yeah.
Quite literally every time. And I swear to God, it's because I'm literally saying, and then I'll do it and I'll be like, thank you. Like, sick. Got it. And I swear to God that it attracts like more in my direction every single time. So you're right about the gratitude. It's an essential piece.
100%. I think it's really hard when you're down and out mm-hmm. to be grateful. But I think those are the most important times to be grateful. Yep. And there have been a lot of times where I've been like, I'm fucking down and out. And and I've just sat there, and one of the sayings that I've heard is that you can't be like, it's like you can't be anxious and grateful at the same time, or you can't be sad and grateful at the same time. So like if you're focusing your mind on gratitude, mm-hmm. like that's the feeling you're going to embody. So if I'm feeling like really shitty, I'm going to be like, okay, let me make a list of the things in my life that I'm really grateful for. And it doesn't even have, like, I'll be like my dog.
I start with my physical. I do something similar. I start with my physical body always because it gets you centered really easy and grounded. So like I have both my feet. I have my legs. I have.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
And I have my hair, and I can see, and I can smell. And then once you work through like the physical, then it's like, oh, look I have my car, and I have my dog, I have my best friend, I can call you if I need you. And then you get pulled out of that lack mindset, because the lack mindset will suck you in. It will fucking suffocate you. Mm-hmm. So and that's the part to circle back on, like the way we were in the bar the other night, could have been one view. my ass was like, yes! People were looking at us for a minute because we were like, I'm pretty sure we were like holding each other, like screeching.
We're at $1 million!
Meanwhile, one of Carly's friends is with us who does not like the attention or spotlight, like whatsoever, as far as I know her. And she was like, what? And we were like, wait. We're like laughing and screeching and like so excited. And she's like, okay.
She probably had no idea what we were talking about, too.
She probably didn't. But the whole point of that, my point being, is that we literally took like the little win that we had of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And we're so delusional about it.
We're
which is
so delusional. And I love that.
It's my favorite thing about us.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I do is if I start to think like negatively about myself or about a situation or something that's going to happen, I reframe the thought and think like, if this were happening to one of my friends, would I tell them like what I'm saying to myself in my head, like you're a loser? Or would I, like, I know one of the thoughts that I have, like, you're too old to be doing this. You're too, and then I think if Alycia ever said to me, because Alycia is older than me.
By 9 months.
If Alycia ever said to me, I'm too old to be here, I'm too old to be doing this, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
True.
You know?
And you'll never catch me
you're
saying
too old to be doing this. That's wild. And it's crazy because then I'm like, oh, I can just apply that same knowledge to myself.
Yeah, that's true. I also think that's obviously what you're talking about. It has a lot to do with fear base, and stepping out of the fear is going to be
100%.
Is important. For
fear
everybody.
is like the opposite of like manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
The opposer. Like if you live in fear, you're not going to manifest.
It's true.
Yeah, you got to.
It's true. And if you never take a step into the unknown, you're going to be standing in the same spot for quite a bit.
For a long time.
Yeah.
In terms of love, because you have a lot of, I've never really had this, I've never really had the having to manifest love situation. I've never felt, I guess I've never had a chance to feel like I need to manifest love. I went from one relationship to the next. But you have a lot of clients that focus on like manifesting love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the biggest, it's very similar to anything in the physical world that you want to manifest. And I will say I've successfully manifested partners. Most of my partners I wanted before they wanted me. And they might not know that, but there was a whole lot of manifestation involved in it. Anyways, the biggest thing is the lack mindset. It pulls you away from a person. If you look at yourself and you're thinking to yourself, why isn't he choosing me? Or how come they don't want me? Or is there somebody else involved? Or is somebody else better? You're not going to get your partner. It's not going to happen. Now, there is something I fucking swear by, okay?
Oh.
Every single person that I have ever met in this situation has experienced this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Do you know when you desire somebody, okay? You want somebody so bad, and whether you've been with them or you haven't, and there has to be some interaction, don't get me wrong, but they just don't give you the time of day. And you're like, why don't you want me? Why don't you want me?
Literally
why
my
don't
current
you want
partner.
me? Shut the fuck
Literally
up.
my husband.
Okay, well, this doesn't apply to you because you're married. But then
Oh.
you turn around, okay? Listen, this is the thing. You know when you then get in another relationship, and the second you're happy, it is literally the second you're smiling again and you're like, I'm hot and I'm happy, that fucking first person will text you or call you. Do you know why that fucking happens? Because you're feeling good again. It's an energy thing. You're embodying your divinity, which is attractive to the universe, your partner, anybody. When you're sitting there, I have clients who will sit there and fucking manifest and be like, why isn't it happening? I'm like, why don't you put the fucking pen down, go outside, go to a coffee shop, make flirty eyes with somebody, let somebody buy you a fucking coffee, and watch this person come back. I'm telling you, it's magic. I'm telling you, the most insane thing I've ever seen. I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
I've seen my friends do it. I've seen my clients do it. I currently was talking to a client who did that.
Exactly.
And for 3 months, I've been telling her, listen to me. Put the fucking pen down. Put the fucking pen down.
Okay. I'm hot take. This doesn't apply to me. But I'm gonna tell you why, okay? And it's gonna be a good reason. This doesn't apply to me because the universe said you will be too fucking insufferable being single for too long. We have to get this girl
married
and
give her a baby
with any man at all. She cannot be single.
I agree.
She's gonna be a fucking problem.
I can't
so many ways.
imagine. I cannot imagine what you would be like
Insufferable.
if you were single for more than 30 days. I think you would be sectioned. I think somebody would call somebody and phone a friend and get you in there.
Never in my fucking... since I was like 16, never have I not had a man on call. Like, I don't even know the longest dry spell I've ever had. Couldn't have been longer than 30 days. Not even kidding.
That's wild. I've gone through longer dry spells in my relationship.
Actually, that might have been the dry spell. But insufferable. Insufferable, yeah.
See, I have a belief recently that I haven't had before. I'm finding so much peace and ease in my life not feeling such restriction around romantic partners.
Yeah.
Like answering to somebody, the thought of me owning a home with somebody makes me feel a little nauseous.
Well, that makes sense too.
It does.
I'm going to say something very hypocritical
Wonderful.
of myself.
Wonderful.
Is that male-centered women are the worst kind of women. And I don't mean that as in like I'm bashing women, but because I am one. So that's...
You would come
like,
on here and fucking roast yourself.
Who I hate.
It's anybody that's like
it's me. Like,
okay. What a twist. Plot twist. She's shitting on herself today.
Well, it makes sense, okay? I think I have a first-hand perspective of how fucking annoying it is. Male-centered women are the worst. And when I say male-centered women, I mean women that make a man the center of their fucking universe. And let me just preface to say that I am like that, like not in a relationship, but like in a healthy relationship, like me and my partner are equal. Like I'm not like centered, like I'm not being like, what can I do for you, sweetie?
Yeah.
Can I do everything for you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, in my marriage I'm not, but if I were single or if I were like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Vying after a man, I think is what I'm trying to say. I would be with my friends out at dinner and I'd be like, oh my God, he hasn't texted me. Like, I'm that bitch.
I literally would throw your phone out of a fucking window.
My friends used to. Maybe I wouldn't be like this now. I mean, I haven't been single in a long time. But when I was, like, younger and I'd be, like, texting, like, a guy, my friends would be like, I know exactly who you're fucking texting because you got that stupid smile on your face. And I'd be like, it's annoying. And
well, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I've been there multiple times. I don't know what hit me like a ton of bricks. I would rather die.
It's self-love. When you love yourself, you don't need to put a man at the center of your fucking universe.
Like checking my phone to see if somebody has texted me. I do it for you, so maybe I'm a woman.
I'm a double texter.
Like,
I'm telling you, I am insufferable.
I I have a huge ego. I was just talking about this today. It's like a really big problem. I'm working on it. I'm in therapy, so we all are clear. But I'm the bitch that is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
A double text would make me vomit.
Yeah.
Like, if I was flirting with some guy, I'm going to ignore you first, and then I'll give you, and it's not in the flirty stages, but I've been in scenarios where a guy slights me, and I go, yeah, dead silence. Won't talk to you, won't look at your stories, won't like your shit. I've done it, but I was in a relationship once where I said something to my partner. I was like, this needs to happen or I'm out. They said I need to think about it. I did not respond for 3 months. No contact. So I was like, check my phone, suck my dick. Like, you won't see me blink motherfucking twice. There was times when I thought to myself, I hope you fucking see me out, because I won't even direct my gaze towards you. So I am the opposite of that.
That's good.
I am the complete, and I will make it very uncomfortable because I'm a
I showed up at Kurt's house when we lived not together. When we first started dating, we were probably like a year in, if that.
Mm-hmm.
I showed up to his house on boys' night while they were playing poker to tell him I hit a coyote, and he didn't answer my text. And I was like, don't you care that I survived? Don't you care that I made it?
You are psychotic. You are. Thoughts for my therapist.
I have never in our like 8 years of relationship have seen the blank look in his eye that I did that day. I was like, oh, he fucking hates me.
And then he married her.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
No, going back to manifesting, Kurt is your perfect fucking match. If I were to not know Kurt at all and describe what you need in a partner, it would define Kurt. Everything about the man is perfect for you. When we came home after your birthday party, the patience and the fun and the excitement that he had. The way you're like, you want to share everything with him, and not only just because he's your partner, but the way he interacts back with you. I was like what was I eating? A McChicken?
It was Wendy's,
whatever it was.
Sandwich.
I was eating a chicken sandwich. I was so tired. My feet hurt so bad. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my God. She's like, do you want to know what happened? He's like, well, why do you think that? And then 5 seconds later, she sits down and he puts her face in cake. And they're laughing. And I'm like, this is the match made in motherfucking heaven or hell, however you want to look at it, whichever angle. But perfect partner.
Yeah.
I could have manifested it for you, but that's also when you're in the right relationship. Everything is not easy. I don't want to say that because it is hard work, but there's so much positive attributes that make you feel like you can be yourself, and that your world does not have to revolve around somebody else, and that you don't have to be like checking your phone every 5 seconds or double texting. But I won't neglect the fact that you showed up to his house, and
there's something wrong with
you're psychotic.
I know.
I really think about the things that you say sometimes, and I talk to my therapist about them. And I'm like...
And you're like, should I be friends with this person? Or...
No, that's never it. It's more of, you might think I'm crazy, but I have a friend, okay?
You do not. You do not. You have enough to talk about in therapy. You've told me that many times. I've asked her, I actually asked her like a few months into our friendship, I'm like, have you told your therapist about me?
What a weird ask. You know, why does she want to know? That is how you know that Ted Bundy is in there. She's like, I almost felt like in that moment you were asking me because if I went murdered, maybe she wouldn't guess
If I went murdered.
If I was murdered.
If I went murdered. Well, I remember asking you, have you told your therapist about me? And it was like 6 months into our friendship, and you were like, sweetie, no, I have enough to talk about in therapy. I can't talk about you. And I was like, oh, that hurts. And then a couple months later, she's like, so I did tell my therapist about you. You came up in therapy, and I was like, oh my god, that's. And I remember making a post on TikTok, and I was like, it said something along the lines of like when she tells her therapist, like when they tell their therapist about you, it's like the best compliment or something like that.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Psychotic.
Literally
psychotic.
So psychotic.
But you manifested this friendship.
I think we manifest. You just didn't know you were manifesting it. You just didn't know you were manifesting me. But it all makes sense in the grander scheme of things.
Yes.
So I think it was a mutual. I think the universe. Remember when I started. It was actually closer to when I was getting engaged with Kurt. It was our first meeting. And you were like, the universe just kind of like saw both of you and were like, yeah, these two, pushed them right together. You said it just like that. And so I think there is some synchronicity where it was like, they're just so close to being in the same circle, but they're not quite there. We're just gonna...
I agree.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
We're supposed to be doing it. We're supposed to be famous together.
I agree.
It's happening.
I know.
Delusional bitches. That's
Delusion. Listen, delusion is the answer. You're not crazy. You're just manifesting.
Unless you're Carly, then you're definitely crazy.
Then you're both, but whatever.